So today we're diving into something, well, pretty heavy. It's a conversation that's really important, though, sparked by something that happened recently, something that definitely got people talking online.
Yeah, it really resonated.
We're doing a deep dive into a tragic incident involving Sagar Tudu. He was a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And just in a heartbreaking turn, he lost his life. This happened while he was filming near a waterfall over in Odisha.
It's awful. A really stark reminder of the dangers sometimes involved.
Absolutely. Now, our main source for this deep dive is a detailed YouTube script that actually breaks down the incident. But, our mission here isn't just to report the news.
No, it goes deeper than that.
Exactly. We want to try and explore the complex forces, the pressures, often hidden, that are really at play into these digital content world. These things affect creators like Sagar, obviously, but also they affect all of us, right, as consumers.
Definitely.
We're trying to get a handle on the vulnerabilities that pop up when, ambition meets the relentless demands of the online space.
It's a somber way to start, for sure, but it's incredibly important we unpack this. Sagar Tudu's story, tragic as it is, becomes a poignant case study.
Right.
It really forces us to look hard at that intersection of tech ambition and, crucially, safety, especially now when basically anyone can create content.
Anyone with a phone, yeah.
Exactly. So this isn't just about one person's tragedy. It shines a light on the broader implications for the whole content creation industry and maybe the culture it encourages around chasing virality and, big visual moments.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit then, because the source material gives us a pretty clear, though obviously tragic picture. Sagar Tudu was, like you see with so many creators, really committed. He wanted to capture compelling, unique visuals.
That's the drive, isn't it?
It is. He was near that waterfall in Odisha, and the source says he was using a drone camera.
Ah, okay.
Which right away tells you something, doesn't it? About his ambition, the investment he was putting into his work. The goal, like it so often is, was to get that better shot.
The standout shot.
Yeah, something that would really pop in a very, very crowded digital space.
Right.
And, well, in trying to get that shot, the unthinkable happened. He slipped.
And that slip, as our source details, led to him being swept away by the current. The water there was incredibly powerful. It's a detail that just starkly highlights how fast a place that looks beautiful, picturesque, can turn deadly.
Yeah.
The very things that make a location attractive for that high-impact content, a dramatic waterfall, are often the very things carrying the biggest risks. It's just a profound reminder that nature, beautiful as it is also fundamentally unforgiving.
And the source material points out something incredibly sobering. The incident itself.
Yeah.
It was caught on camera.
Wow.
Yeah. Think about that. The very thing he was doing filming ended up capturing his own final moments.
That's chilling.
It made the tragedy so immediate, so visceral for people who saw it. And despite local rescue teams getting there quickly, rushing to the site, his life couldn't be saved. It's just an agonizing illustration of how fast and final these kinds of accidents are.
And this really brings us to a key point from our source material. It says, and I'm quoting loosely here, "This tragedy highlights the growing risks content creators face while chasing unique footage."
Growing risks.
Yeah, it's not just that risks exist, but that they seem to be escalating. And you have to ask why. Well, the demand for more unique, more extreme content seems to be growing right along with it.
Right.
If you connect that dot, it shows how one event like this can really illuminate these vulnerabilities baked into a pursuit that's so heavily driven by going viral, by spectacle.
And that's the core mechanism we really need to grasp, isn't it? Our source puts it plainly. With social media pushing creators to capture extreme or eye-catching visuals, safety is often overlooked.
Often overlooked. That phrase is key.
It really is. This isn't just, one person making a mistake. It feels like systemic pressure. Think about the algorithm.
Oh, yeah, the algorithms.
Those black boxes deciding what we see, they're constantly learning what keeps us watching, right? And often that means prioritizing stuff that's new, dramatic, maybe emotionally charged, just to maximize clicks and watch time.
It creates this relentless cycle.
Exactly. A constant need to top the last video, just to keep the audience engaged.
Precisely. And there's this whole economic and social pressure tangled up in it, too. For a lot of creators, this isn't just a side thing. It's their job, their dream, their path to, recognition.
Their livelihood.
Right. So to stand out in this incredibly packed market, there's this feeling, this perceived need to deliver something really novel, something truly breathtaking.
And breathtaking can sometimes mean high risk.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's the potential translation. The platforms themselves, I mean, they offer huge opportunities, no doubt, but they also, just by how they're designed, kind of set the terms of engagement. They reward the spectacular, the edgy, sometimes the visually shocking.
So it's not just about an individual creator maybe making a poor choice in a vacuum. It sounds like an entire ecosystem that, maybe without meaning to, ends up encouraging this kind of risk-taking.
I think that's fair to say.
Our source highlights this chase for extreme visuals. And we, the audience, we're definitely part of the ecosystem too, aren't we?
Undeniably.
When we click on the most daring thumbnails or share videos of incredible feats, we are essentially sending a signal about what grabs our attention. We might not consciously be saying, hey, risk your life, but that collective demand for never before seen, it can inadvertently create an environment where creators feel they have to push those boundaries.
It's a really powerful feedback loop. Creators see what works, what the algorithm seems to like, and then they, understandably, try to replicate or even escalate that success.
Makes sense.
So if a video showing a dangerous stunt goes viral, it sends this message, maybe a tragic one, but a powerful one, to other creators. This is what gets views. This is what gets attention. What often gets missed, though, is the meticulous planning, the safety measures, or sometimes just sheer dumb luck involved in stunts that don't end badly.
Yeah, you don't see the safety nets.
Exactly. In Sagar Tudu's case, it seems that pursuit of the better shot led directly to a situation where safety protocols, assuming there were any, were just momentarily insufficient or maybe even bypassed.
And the source hits this directly, stating, safety is often overlooked. It's such a simple phrase, but it's chilling, isn't
It
it?
carries so much weight.
It really points to a trend, a pattern. It suggests a kind of culture where the immediate goal, getting the content, overrides that basic concern for your own well-being. And this isn't totally unique to content creators, obviously. You see echoes of it in other high-pressure fields, high-visibility jobs.
It's true.
The thing with content creation is its accessibility. Anyone, potentially without professional training, without safety crews, maybe without any real oversight, can suddenly find themselves in these potentially high-risk situations.
Which raises a really big question, doesn't it? How do we as a society sort of balance that creative drive, that ambition individuals have, with the absolute need for safety, especially when the lines between like personal passion and professional work are so blurry online?
Yeah, that's the crux of it.
And what's fascinating is that the tools themselves, like that drone camera you mentioned, they're designed to get those unique perspectives, to push the visual
The
limit.
closer.
Right. But the closer you get, often, the greater the danger. The tech enables the ambition, but it doesn't automatically manage the risk involved. That's still on the person.
Okay, so we've talked about the pressures on creators,
Yeah.
the role of the platforms. But let's pivot slightly and look more directly at us, the audience.
Right.
When we click on that really daring thumbnail, or we share something that looks incredibly risky, are we, maybe inadvertently, fueling this whole cycle? Our source touches on our collective demand for novelty. What's our responsibility here as consumers? And does seeing this stuff all the time, does it change how we react?
That's such a critical question to ask. As consumers, we probably have more influence than we think. Every click, every share, every single view, it's like a vote. It sends a signal back to the platforms, back to the creators about what we find valuable or at least attention-grabbing.
So if the extreme stuff consistently gets the eyeballs,
It reinforces that behavior, absolutely. Our source implies this kind of attention economy where creators are basically fighting for tiny slices of our focus. So our responsibility, maybe, lies in developing a stronger sense of media literacy.
oh, so
Well, to actually question the content we consume, to think about the motivations behind it, and importantly, to consider the potential human cost. You asked if it desensitizes us. That's a real possibility, isn't it? Does constantly seeing these spectacles make us crave even more drama just to feel engaged? It's definitely something worth thinking about as you scroll through your feed.
it really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the landscape for creators and the impact on us as consumers, what about the platforms themselves? Our source kind of implicitly points to a systemic issue here. Are there concrete things like policy changes or tweaks to the algorithms that could maybe rebalance things, shift the incentive away from pure risk towards more sustainable, safer creation, but without, killing creativity.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of the conversation needs to head. The source highlights this profound lack of safety consideration, as you said. So to tackle that, platforms could definitely explore different approaches.
Like what?
Well, for instance, algorithmic changes could diversify what gets promoted, maybe move beyond just rewarding novelty or extremity, and also prioritize things like quality or educational value, maybe positive impact.
Okay.
They could also implement clearer safety guidelines, maybe demonetize content that's obviously overtly dangerous, or even provide better safety education resources for creators. It's complex, for sure.
Doesn't sound easy.
No, it's not about stifling creativity at all. It's about fostering a safer creative environment. The aim should be to shift the culture so that the drive for amazing visuals doesn't automatically equate to a drive towards unnecessary danger.
Right. So this whole deep dive into Sagar Tudu's tragedy, using our source material as a guide, it really leaves us with some crucial takeaways, things that stretch way beyond just this one incident into the whole digital world.
Absolutely. I think the key lesson here, boiling it down from Sagar Tudu's tragic story, is just the stark, undeniable reminder. Human life is absolutely irreplaceable, full stop.
Yeah.
And while wanting unique visuals is totally understandable, often it's admirable, it just can never, ever be worth overlooking safety. Our source explicitly said safety is often overlooked in that chase for extreme or eye-catching visuals.
And that seems to be exactly what happened here.
Sadly, yes. It's a trade-off that is simply never, ever worth making. And this brings up a really important question for all of us, kind of building on those quiet warnings in the source material. What role do we, as the audience, actually play in shaping the demand for this kind of content? And how might our clicks and shares indirectly influence the risks creators feel pressured to take?
That's something to chew on.
It really is. Something to consider as we're scrolling, consuming content all day long. How can our collective attention maybe encourage a culture of safety instead of accidentally pushing creators towards danger?
That's a powerful point. It really shifts the focus back onto all of us. And our source material just hammers home that ultimate, powerful reminder. No video is worth risking your life.
Simple as that.
It's such a simple truth, but it feels like it gets lost sometimes in the race for online fame or engagement.
It does.
And the source leaves us with this one final thought, a really memorable takeaway that maybe should stick in all our minds. Content can always be recreated. Lives cannot.
That hits hard.
Let that sink in for a moment. Whether you're just watching stuff online or you're maybe an aspiring creator yourself or just someone navigating this digital world, remember that balance. Please, value safety above everything else for you and for others.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us for this really crucial deep dive. We hope you'll reflect on these ideas, and we'll catch you next time.